Every 65 seconds, someone develops Alzheimer's disease. Right now, as you watch this video, over 6 million Americans over 65 are quietly losing their most precious memories. What's even more terrifying? A landmark study recently published in the prestigious journal The Lancet revealed a shocking truth. Up to 40% of dementia cases are entirely preventable. But sadly, most of us are unknowingly throwing away that golden opportunity every single day, right in our own kitchens. Think about it. Have you ever walked into the kitchen, stopped in your tracks, and gone completely blank on what you were looking for? Have you ever had to force a polite smile because you couldn't recall the name of an old acquaintance you just bumped into, and then you wave it off, sigh, and tell yourself, well, I guess I'm just getting old? No, my friends. Aging is a natural part of time, but brain fog and the slow loss of your mental clarity are not an inevitable fate. It's a sign that your brain cells are under attack and crying out for help. The truth is, your brain possesses an incredible ability to heal itself if it's given the right kind of fuel. Today, as a nutrition expert who has worked with thousands of older adults, I'm going to reveal the top 5 most powerful fruits to you. These aren't just sweet treats. They are nature's brooms that sweep away the toxic plaque building up in your brain, helping you regain your mental sharpness and noticeably improve your memory in just 7 days. Don't click away and get your pen and paper ready, because the fruit at number 3 is guaranteed to go completely against the healthy habits you've always believed in. Let's dive right into number 1, a fruit that I often playfully call blue gold for the brain: blueberries. Many people still think of blueberries as just a tasty snack, but they're so much more than that. Think of them as one of the most powerful, all-natural neuroprotectors you can find anywhere on Earth. Let me prove this to you with real data. A massive study from Harvard University, in collaboration with the University of East Anglia in the UK, published in the prestigious journal Annals of Neurology, closely tracked over 16,000 women over the age of 70 for several years. The results stunned the scientific community. Those who regularly ate blueberries had brains that were up to 2.5 years younger compared to those who rarely ate them. Just imagine that. You could literally push back your cognitive aging by more than 2.5 years just through one incredibly simple habit. Why are they so miraculous? The secret lies right in that beautiful deep blue skin. It contains a massive amount of an antioxidant compound called anthocyanins. Most nutrients from our food actually get blocked and can't make it deep into the brain. But anthocyanins have a rare superpower. They easily cross the blood-brain barrier, going straight into the hippocampus, your brain's memory storage center. Once there, they act like a tiny fire department, putting out flare-ups of inflammation and sweeping away the plaque that's actively eroding your neurons. But here is the most important part: how you eat them. So many people are completely wasting their money because they're doing it wrong. You only need half a cup a day. And the great news is that frozen blueberries actually retain a higher concentration of antioxidants than fresh ones that have been sitting in your fridge for days. Never blend your blueberries with regular cow's milk. This is a breakfast habit that 90% of people are guilty of. The proteins in animal dairy immediately bind to those precious antioxidants in the blueberries and literally lock them up. The result? Your body can't absorb them, and your brain gets absolutely zero benefit. Instead of mixing them with dairy, eat a handful of blueberries alongside a few walnuts. The healthy fats from the walnuts act like an armored truck, safely and fully transporting all of those blueberry nutrients straight up to your brain. Next up at number 2 is a fruit that many older adults actively avoid out of an unfounded fear: the fear of gaining weight. I'm talking about the avocado, the ultimate insurance policy for your neurons. For decades, marketing campaigns have drilled a dangerous misconception into our heads: fat is the enemy. But did you know that nearly 60% of your brain is actually made up of fat? When you aggressively cut out fats just to watch your waistline, you are literally starving your body's control center. The myelin sheath, the protective layer that wraps around your nerves just like the plastic coating on an electrical wire, desperately needs fat to keep your mind sharp and prevent your neural circuits from shorting out. Avocados provide the absolute perfect source of monounsaturated fats to rebuild this vital insulation. Let me tell you about Arthur, a 68-year-old retired engineer from Texas. Arthur came to my office feeling incredibly frustrated. Every single day, right around 3 p.m., he would hit a wall of thick brain fog. He'd become irritable, sluggish, and couldn't even do simple mental math to balance his checkbook. His daily habit was grabbing a small pastry or a cookie in the afternoon for a quick burst of energy. I told him to ditch the pastry and replace it with just half an avocado. Just that one tiny tweak. And guess what happened? In just 3 short weeks, the turnaround was nothing short of miraculous. That afternoon brain fog, completely gone. His energy levels stayed steady and smooth all the way through the evening. But what truly warmed my heart was a phone call I got last week. He excitedly told me he had started playing chess again with his 10-year-old grandson, something he hadn't had the mental stamina to do for over 2 years. So, how should you incorporate avocados into your diet to unlock their full potential? Just 1/4 to 1/2 of an avocado a day is all it takes to provide premium fuel to keep your brain running smoothly. You don't need to overdo it. We still want to leave room for other nutrient-dense foods. Don't just eat it plain. Sprinkle a dash of turmeric and a pinch of black pepper right on top of that avocado half. This is a well-kept nutritional secret. The piperine in the black pepper boosts your body's ability to absorb the active curcumin in the turmeric by a staggering 2,000%. When you combine this ultimate anti-inflammatory duo with the healthy fats of the avocado, you create a natural, smart bomb that directly targets and extinguishes microscopic inflammation deep inside your brain. It's an affordable, effortless snack that has the power to literally rescue an exhausted nervous system. Coming in at number 3 is a fruit that might completely change how you shop at the grocery store. So many of my older patients proudly tell me they drink a glass of red wine every night, believing it's good for the heart and protects the memory. But they don't realize a harsh truth. The alcohol in wine, no matter how little, is a neurotoxin that shrinks brain tissue over time. The real magic isn't in that fermented glass. It's in the original whole ingredient it comes from. Dark and Concord grapes with seeds, what researchers call the time machine for reversing aging. Let me prove it to you. Dr. Robert Krikorian and his team at the University of Cincinnati conducted an in-depth clinical trial on older adults showing signs of mild cognitive decline, meaning people who were starting to forget their keys, blank on acquaintances' names, or struggle with planning. The results were incredibly impressive. When participants were given pure grape extract, the blood flow pumping to their brains noticeably increased, and their scores on memory and language tests improved dramatically. What created this miracle? A super compound called resveratrol. Imagine your brain as an engine that's been running nonstop for 60 years and is starting to rust. When resveratrol enters your body, it instantly flips the switch on a special group of genes called sirtuins, known in science as the longevity genes. These genes act like a professional maintenance crew, immediately sweeping away toxic plaque and repairing damaged neurons. However, to flip this longevity switch, you have to know how to eat them. 99% of people at the grocery store reach for seedless grapes out of convenience. Please don't do this. When grapes are bred to produce no seeds, they lose half of their natural healing power. Every day, you only need a small handful, about 10 to 15 dark or red grapes. Don't overdo it, as they still contain natural sugar. You must chew both the skin and the seeds thoroughly. That dark outer skin is where 100% of the precious resveratrol is stored. And the seeds? When you crunch into those bitter seeds, a rush of essential fatty oils and powerful antioxidants, OPCs, is released. They form an invisible shield, directly protecting your brain's cell membranes from the attacks of aging. Stop relying on wine for mental clarity. Eat dark seeded grapes with the skin on to literally turn back the clock on your brain. Taking the number 4 spot is a fruit that many older adults complain about and dread whenever it's mentioned. The reason? Because peeling it and chewing all those tiny little seeds takes quite a bit of time. But trust me, once you discover the true power this fruit has on your blood vessels, you will want to eat it every single day. I'm talking about the pomegranate, the ultimate oxygen pump for your nervous system. Let me tell you the story of Eleanor, a 74-year-old former teacher living in Florida. Eleanor came into my office in a panic, fighting back tears. Her biggest fear about growing older was slowly becoming a reality. Twice in 1 week, she had forgotten to turn off the stove. The breaking point came when she became completely disoriented and got lost inside the exact same grocery store she had visited every week for 15 years. The root cause of her condition wasn't that her brain had expired. It was because the network of micro blood vessels in her brain was shrinking and stiffening over time. Eleanor's brain was slowly depleting from suffocating. It couldn't get enough fresh oxygen and nutrients to maintain its clarity. And the pomegranate was the key to solving this. Pomegranates contain a massive amount of a super compound called punicalagins. When this enters your body, it triggers the natural production of nitric oxide, a substance that helps relax and dilate the tiny constricted blood vessels in your brain. Imagine it like throwing open a tightly sealed window, allowing oxygen-rich blood to rush right into those starving areas of your brain. I guided Eleanor to add pomegranates to her breakfast every day. Just 4 weeks later, her daughter called me. Not only was Eleanor no longer getting lost, but she had also recalled a complex baking recipe from decades ago and had started confidently taking walks by herself around the neighborhood. So, how do you turn the pomegranate into the most effective oxygen pump for yourself? Just a 1/4 cup of fresh pomegranate arils, seeds, a day is all it takes to make a massive difference in your brain's blood circulation. A lot of people eat pomegranates and then spit out the seeds. That is a terrible waste. You absolutely must chew them thoroughly and swallow the whole seed. Inside that hard layer is a rare source of omega-5 fatty acids, farnesic acid, that is incredibly powerful at extinguishing inflammation in the brain's membranes. Never buy industrial bottled pomegranate juice. To give them a long shelf life, they've been heated and pasteurized, killing off all the live enzymes, and pumped full of a massive amount of added sugar. Drinking that stuff won't just fail to save your brain, it will cause a massive blood sugar spike, actually accelerating your cognitive decline. And finally, coming in at number 5, is an incredibly familiar fruit. It's in every supermarket, it's inexpensive, yet it possesses a brain-protecting power you would never expect. Apples, the iron shield against cognitive decline. We've all heard the old saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." But for anyone over 60, that saying really should be changed to, "An apple a day keeps Alzheimer's away." This isn't just some old wives' tale, it is a scientifically proven fact. In 2021, the highly respected American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a groundbreaking study. Researchers tracked the brain health of nearly 2,800 older adults over the age of 50 for 2 straight decades. The results revealed a terrifying gap. People with diets low in flavonoids, a group of antioxidants incredibly abundant in apples, were 2 to 4 times more likely to develop Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia compared to those who ate them regularly. Just stop and think about that number for a second. Your risk of losing your memory could quadruple simply because you're skipping out on this completely ordinary fruit. The apple's secret weapon lies in a compound called quercetin. As we age, our brains are constantly under attack by free radicals, unstable molecules that cause a rusting effect and destroy neurons. Quercetin acts as a solid iron shield, blocking this attack dead in its tracks, protecting the fragile membranes of your brain cells and keeping your thinking sharp. But once again, how you eat your apple determines whether it acts as medicine or just a lump of sugar. Never, ever peel your apple. This is the most destructive mistake you can make. Nearly 90% of that brain-protecting quercetin is located right there in the dark outer skin. The flesh inside is mostly just water and fructose. If you peel it, you are literally throwing the entire healing power of the apple straight into the trash, leaving your body with empty sugar that only increases your risk of inflammation. The safe way to wash them. A lot of people peel their apples because they're terrified of pesticides. To solve this, all you need to do is soak your apples in water with a tablespoon of baking soda for 15 minutes, then rinse them off. Science has proven that baking soda thoroughly strips away chemical residue from the surface of the skin. Don't just eat it plain. Slice the apple up and smear it with a tablespoon of almond butter, or eat it alongside a few walnuts. The protein and healthy fats from the nuts will slow down the absorption of the apple's sugar into your bloodstream, keeping your brain's energy levels and focus perfectly stable for hours on end. Now you have your list of 5 powerful bodyguards to protect your brain. But there is a harsh reality when it comes to nutrition. It doesn't matter how expensive your food is. What truly matters is how your body absorbs it. To maximize the full power of these 5 fruits, here is an incredibly simple 24-hour brain routine that I regularly design for my patients. Morning. Sprinkle a handful of blueberries or a few spoonfuls of fresh pomegranate Oreos over a warm bowl of oatmeal. This is the exact time your nervous system needs the highest amount of oxygen and antioxidants to wake up your neurons after a long night. Noon. Add half an avocado to your salad or your lunch plate. This perfect layer of fat will maintain your energy levels and protect your cell membranes. Mid-afternoon. Around 3 p.m., when you're feeling the most sluggish and tired, absolutely do not reach for a pastry. Slice up a fresh apple with the skin on and eat it alongside a few walnuts. Your mental clarity and focus will return almost instantly. However, all of your efforts will go completely down the drain if you are still holding on to these 3 destructive habits. Check to see if you are accidentally poisoning your own brain. Mistake 1. Juicing. Burn this rule into your memory. Whole fruit is medicine, but fruit juice is poison to your brain. When you put fruit through a juicer, you are throwing away the most important part, the fiber. Without that fiber acting as a shield, you are injecting a bomb of fructose straight into your bloodstream. This sugar instantly causes insulin resistance in the brain and triggers storms of inflammation that scorch your memory cells. Chew, don't drink. Mistake 2. Eating fruit right after a heavy meal. You just finished a heavy dinner full of meat and carbs and then immediately have a plate of fruit for dessert? That is a digestive disaster. Fruit digests very quickly, while meat and carbs take hours. When trapped on top of that slow digesting food, the fruit will begin to ferment, producing gas and creating toxins that get reabsorbed into your bloodstream, leaving you feeling tired and mentally sluggish. Eat your fruit 30 minutes before a meal or have it as a completely separate snack. Mistake 3. Eating naked carbs. Never eat fruit all by itself on an empty stomach. Even the best fruit still contains natural sugar. Always create a protective shield by pairing your fruit with a little healthy fat or protein, like smearing it with almond butter or eating it with walnuts or macadamia nuts. The fat will flatten your blood sugar curve, preventing that massive energy spike and crash. The main culprit behind losing your focus and accelerating the shrinkage of your hippocampus. Your brain is a priceless treasure. It has worked tirelessly, nonstop for 60 or 70 years to store every smile from your grandkids, every life lesson, and every single moment that makes you exactly who you are. So please, never accept the mindset, "I'm just getting old, so I guess losing my memory is inevitable." The science of neuroplasticity has proven an incredibly hopeful truth. It is never too late to rebuild your neurons. No matter how old you are today, the power to regain your mental clarity, protect your memories, and maintain your independence is sitting right there in your very own kitchen. To prove that to you, I want to issue a challenge right here, right now. The 7-Day Mental Clarity Challenge. Starting tomorrow for exactly 1 week, I challenge you to completely ditch those afternoon pastries and sugar-loaded bottled juices. Instead, choose just one of the 5 bodyguards we just talked about. Try chewing on a handful of dark, seeded grapes, eating half an avocado with a pinch of black pepper, or snacking on an unpeeled apple with some walnuts. Give it just 7 days to let your brain truly breathe and start sweeping out the trash. And here is our deal. Save this video, type the words "I commit" down in the comments below, and come back here in exactly 7 days to tell me how your brain fog has lifted and how sharp and energized you feel. I promise I will personally read and heart every single one of your update comments. If you found the insights we shared today truly valuable, please take just 1 second to hit that like button. That one tiny tap will help the YouTube algorithm push this video out to help save thousands, even tens of thousands of other older adults who are silently struggling in the dark with memory loss. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together, growing older with strength, pride, and independence. Thank you for investing this time into your own brain. I'll see you in the next video.